Hello. Hi, fans of high quality 68th birthday live chats. And music and cat lover. Yeah, I did plan to have this at 3 p.m. today, Eastern Standard Time. And then there's something I'll post. There's going to be a Sparks chat at 4 p.m. on YouTube. I'll have a link for it. And Monty is going to be talking to former members of Sparks from the 80s with, they recorded a few albums with them. So I'll have a link. I'll actually put the link here. And I might partake in the live chat at some point. So if you're a Sparks fan, make sure you check that out at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Happy birthday, Timothy Henry, 5454. Thank you. Music and cat lover, good evening, everyone. Thank you. Victor Jensen, 6843, happy birthday. Nicholas Pearl, who very kindly sent me some money, and I just ordered a Tiny Tim CD. So thank you, Nicholas. Happy birthday and all the best wishes. Guys, let us celebrate him. Thank you. I tell you, I actually feel about 85 years old. But I am I've got chronic pain, but I am going to be starting a new prescription tomorrow. Looking forward to it hopefully helping me. And if anybody wants to come on, just let me know and I'll send you the link. As some of you know, I'm doing a discography review and ranking of all of George Harrison's albums. And the next one, I'm just starting to listen to it. I don't know this album very well. It's Gone Tropo. Is that how you say it? Tropo. Yeah, Gone Tropo. And I've only listened to it like once all the way through last night. And so far, not really a fan of it, but it might grow on me in a few more listens. I'll give it a chance. And also wanted to thank again, I don't know if I have his name here, but somebody sent me Of Montreal, Hissing Fauna, Are You the Destroyer? And I really, really like this band. The only negative thing about this band is I didn't realize they've been around for so many years and they have 20 albums. But I really, really am impressed with this. I don't know if I have his name here. Yeah, it was Eddie Ransom that sent me the CD. Okay. They say it's your birthday. Well, it's my birthday too. Yeah. Happy birthday and all the best wishes. I'll be 63 in July. Well, happy birthday. I don't mind Gone Tropo, but it's not his best. Always loved the Escher demo of Circles, though. Yeah. Yeah. It's one of George Harrison's albums that I never really listened to, but I've become a big fan of George Harrison. So like I said, I'm going to take my time. I don't want to just listen to it a couple of times and give it a bad review, but it might end up being, more negative than positive, but I'll give it a few more listens. I've never seen that one. Yeah, it wasn't one of his best sellers. Certainly, it didn't sell as well as All Things Must Pass. Great album cover of this band. Agree. I think I am 63 too, and I feel 70s. Yeah. And with the new medication, you know, because in the past I've mainly been just taking Advil and Tylenol ones, you know, being careful though. And with this new medication, it's called, I forget the name of it. I forget the name of it at the moment, but you know, it's better not to have alcohol. So this will be my last day of having wine for a while. I can't stick around, but wanted to say happy birthday, mate. Hope you have a good one. Thank you. Yeah, and I've received hundreds of birthday greetings, you know, on Facebook and YouTube and elsewhere. And I just want to thank everybody. It's really nice. I'll drink to that. Yeah. And, you know, first thing when I woke up this morning, I check CNN to see what's going on. And it looks like they've started World War III on my birthday. So, yeah, thanks a lot. And the other interesting thing I saw today is there's all these rumors about Jim Carrey. I guess he was presented some award in France very recently, and some people are saying that it doesn't look like him. Uh, and I saw the footage, and I don't know, unless he's had plastic surgery, but I don't see somebody like Jim Carrey being interested in having plastic surgery. But I don't know, it doesn't really look like him. He's aged, of course, but it's just a little weird. I hope to look as presentable and healthy as you when I'm 60 something. Thank you. I was actually going to start the live chat with this mask, but I decided against it. Well, hello there, everybody. I can't believe I'm 68 years old. People leave this on for a while, although I can't see. What was your presents, or is the word gift you were given? Well, I'm going to be seeing Molly in sometime in the next few days, and she's taking me out for a steak dinner and more, I guess. So hopefully shoot some footage there. Yeah, that wouldn't work. And Nicholas Pearl, who very kindly sent me some money, and I ordered a Tiny Tim CD, which I should be getting tomorrow. Robert Cormier, Z5K. Happy birthday, Larry. Wish you health and happiness. I will be 71 in June. So I have a few on you. Well, happy birthday in June. Reminds me of one of the older guys from the Muppets show. Yeah. It's really hard to see with the eye, and it kind of hurts the eyes too. But I think he had some work done, but it also just looks like aging and different styling. Yeah, but even the way he's talking, I don't know. It's just a little, but maybe it has something to do with the plastic surgery he had. I don't need that there. So as I mentioned, if you are a fan of Sparks, I'm going to leave the link here again at 4 p.m. Monty's Sparks and Entertainment, or whatever it's called, on YouTube. He's going to be talking to the band members that were in Sparks in the 80s for, Want That Sucker and all those albums. And I might take part in the live chat at some point. And this is the link for it. right there. So that's at 4 p.m. today. So I hope, like I said, if you're a Sparks fan, you do check it out. Oh, let's talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, that video did really, really well. It has, I think, like something like 12,000 views and lots of very good comments. I vote Phil Collins. Yep. Billy Idol. Yep. Pink. Yeah. Iron Maiden. Yes. In Excess. Yes. Oasis. Yes. And Joy Division and New Order for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I agree, right? But it's just that for us older fans of rock music, there's bands from the 60s and 70s, Steppenwolf, Grand Funk Railroad, Three Dog Night, that, should have been nominated, years ago, right? I have no problem with any of those artists that you mentioned, being nominated. But what about the older acts that were like huge in the, late 60s, early 70s? Iron Butterfly, I don't think they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah. If it was, it's not going to be changed, of course, but if they started it as the Music Hall of Fame, then I'd have no problem with any of the acts being, well, for the most part, being nominated. I'm just waiting for some more comments. I'll have another sip of wine. What are your plans for March? Well, I am planning to interview the original bassist for Blue Oyster Cult, Joe Bouchard. I messaged him, and he's interested in being interviewed, but he's just busy right now. So he said to contact him again in early March. So hopefully, sometime in March, I'll be talking to Joe about Blue Oyster Cult and his solo career and everything. Yeah, like, and then also, sadly, Neil Sedaka just passed away yesterday, and he should be, I don't think he's even been nominated yet. He should definitely be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then Jim Croce, Badfinger, War, the Monkees. The Monkees is another one that I don't think they've ever even been nominated. And, you know, I'll get the occasional comment like, oh, the Monkees weren't a real band, or they weren't talented. They didn't write their own songs, but they did write some of the songs, and they were all very talented, and they should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Don't get me started. Happy birthday, Disney Dom. Thank you. And Mike Love's solo, yes. Why isn't Mike Love in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist? Oh, sorry. That will be cool with Joe. Yeah, I've been a fan of Blue Oyster Cult since 1975, so, over 50 years. And I like I said in my email to him, I'd like to just talk to him about each of the albums that he recorded with Blue Oyster Cult, for a few minutes for each album. Yes, I agree. It should be Music Hall of Fame. It's not specific in that sense, yeah. Or Music Hall of Face. What is your favorite Neil Sedaka song? I really love his song that he did. I think Elton John did some vocals on it, Bad Blood, from his solo career. They say it's your birthday. Well, it's my birthday too, yeah. They say it's your birthday. We're going to have a good time. I'm glad it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. You should make that into a song. Those are great lyrics. And I forget the name of the channel at the moment, but I'm subscribed to this channel. This guy is I think he's a producer, kind of a young guy, and he's been uh, doing reactions to all of the Beatles albums. And it's really interesting. Right now, the last two videos he did were parts 1 and parts 2 of the White Album. And it's just so funny when he's very impressed with the Beatles, especially Paul McCartney, I guess. He's more of a Paul McCartney fan than John Lennon. But when he gets to Revolution 9, he has this look of confusion on his face, and I don't think he enjoyed the track too much. But overall, I think he was very impressed with the White Album. Yeah, I meant to say fame. When Madonna, Green Day, and Dolly Parton got in the Hall of Shame, but no Iron Maiden, yeah, Jethro Tull, REO Speedwagon, Boston, Badfinger. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I agree. Happy birthday, Larry. Where is your Franklin? Well, we're no longer friends. That happens. Uh, yeah, I just like to keep things personal, but he's just not a friend anymore. But I do wish him well. I'm just waiting for more comments because I'm really boring, as you can tell. And I'm curious also, what have all of you been listening to lately? I've been listening to a lot of George Harrison. I've played this of Montreal, I think, 4 times, and I actually loved it the very first time, except for the one song, which I didn't dislike. But yeah, the past is a grotesque animal. It goes on for about 11 minutes, and it's just a little different. That's his name, yeah, Isaac Brown. Saw some Beatles reactions, and yes, I can remember his problems with Revolution 9. Yeah. And I really don't, especially on the first listen, I don't blame anybody for not liking Revolution 9, but I just remember being 58, 11 years old and having the White Album and just being such a big Beatles fan and hearing Revolution 9 for the very first time. It was scary, right? It's like, what the heck is this? And but I never skip it when I listen to the White Album. I actually really do enjoy it. It's part of the White Album. And the other thing is, I watched Paul McCartney's new Man on the Run documentary that's on Prime Video yesterday. I might do a review of it. But overall, I really, really did enjoy it. It goes from around the time of the breakup of the Beatles, 1969, 70, and through to the early 80s with the arrest in Japan and everything. And it got kind of emotional at the end when he's talking about John Lennon. And so it's very good. Where Are the Monkeys' Wings, Barry White, Glenn Campbell, and more. Yeah. It's Michael Garbett. Happy birthday, Larry. Thank you. Hopefully Phil Collins gets in as a solo artist. Yeah, once again, he was one of the big superstars of the 80s. So I feel He should have been nominated a few years back. Yeah, Morris, where are you? He might be working. Happy birthday, Larry. Thank you. Tunes done by 13428. I've been listening to Simon and Garfunkel's debut a lot and more of the Monkees. Yeah, I love Simon and Garfunkel and the Monkees. Oh, right. I've been listening to a lot of AC/DC, Aerosmith, Bad Company, and Boston lately. Yeah, I especially like Bad Company. Very good. Are on Revolution 9 all parts rewind ones from songs? No, it's just a bunch of crazy tapes sliced together with, I think, by John and George. I don't know if Paul had anything to do with it. I'm listening to Johnny Rivers, Secret Agent Man. Yeah, Morris could be biking. Yeah. I'm sorry about A. You're sorry about A what? I've been listening to Bob Dylan lately. Yeah. I've only got 2 Bob Dylan albums, but I do like him. I've got Slow Train Coming, which is one of my all-time favorite albums, and Saved. That Isaac Brown review guy is definitely a Paul guy and not John. Yeah, I was a little surprised. Like he does say good things about some of John's songs, but then there's times, especially on the Sgt. Pepper album, where he doesn't like John's voice. And for me, I think John Lennon is my all-time favorite singer, especially for the Beatles era, along with Paul McCartney. But he's a young guy. What does he know? I saw Morris earlier. He said he was going for a bike ride. Thought he would be back by now. Yeah, that's okay. I have, I wish, like I said, I wish him well. I'm sure you've had friends that, it didn't work, the friendship didn't work out for whatever reason. No problems. Happy birthday, sir. Ringer Luca 651. Thank you. I won't stand for Generation Z or Z slander. Yeah. It's just, I don't know how anybody could not at least like, John Lennon's vocals. But like I said, he's not bashing John all the time. It's just, I think on certain songs like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, he didn't really like his vocals on that. Well, my cake would have to be gluten-free. Yeah. I'm sure Molly will bake me a gluten-free birthday cake when I see her in a few days. Yeah, I just don't want to get into it. It's personal, but we're just no longer friends. Check out the Steven Tyler film documenting his solo country tour with Loving Mary entitled Out on a Limb. No, thank you. With all due respect, I'm not a fan of country music, and I'm really not a fan of Aerosmith, although I love early Aerosmith. I think Toys in the Attic is a great album. And who is Lovey Mary? Is that a solo artist? Never heard of her. I found this old picture of me in from one of those photo booths, and I was probably about 18 years old. I was not a normal teenager. I'll show it to you. Please don't laugh. That was from listening to too much Sparks at the time. Yeah, Isaac. Yeah, he always says good things about Ringo. And I think he really loved, he listened to Revolution 9. And then when Goodnight came on, which, some fans don't even care for that song, but I think it's a perfect way to end the White Album after all the chaos of Revolution 9. And even he kind of, appreciated the song, the way the album ended. It's Morris. Hey, Larry, happy birthday. It's too nice out. I just came back from a bit of shopping. Thought you were going on at 3 p.m. Yes, but I changed the time, Morris, to 2 p.m. Because I'm letting you know, and others, there's going to be a Sparks live chat on Monty's Sparks and Entertainment channel on YouTube at 4 p.m. And he's interviewing the former members of Sparks band from the 80s for, the Inks in My Pants era. I'll send the link one more time. And I might join the live chat later on and ask, or, just talk to the band for a few minutes. So I hope you Sparks fans out there check it out. Lovey Mary is a country band. Cool. When watching Isaac Brown reactions, I'm amazed at his ignorance of Beatles facts we all know. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. That's great. Love that picture. Hey, Morris. Yeah, I think it's a very sweet way to end, the White Album. And, John Lennon basically wrote the song and Ringo sang it. And I've never disliked it. I know that on the White Album, some people don't like Wild Honey Pie. Why Don't We Do It in the Road? And, some people think those are like filler tracks. I've always loved them. For my favorite album of all time, it's always between Abbey Road and the White Album. And I kind of lean towards the White Album because it's just more songs than on Abbey Road. That's right, Sparks, Morris. It's Julie. Happy birthday, Larry. Hope you have a great day and special dinner. Thank you very much, Julie. I don't know what am I going to make myself for dinner? I think I'm going to make a pizza with a gluten-free crust and then pizza sauce. Yeah, pizza sauce. Green or red peppers, onions, green olives. I would have jalapeno peppers, but I don't have any jalapeno peppers unless somebody wants to send me some. And then pepperoni on top. Back in 1970, my friend who moved from Waltham, Massachusetts, and he had Aerosmith's debut, and it was not released in Canada at the time. It was a few months later when released here in Canada. Yeah. White Album is probably my favorite. Great balance of sweet and eerie. Yeah. I would love everybody's thoughts. What is your favorite Beatles album? If you are a fan of the Beatles, let me know in the comment section below. You should put 68 candles on your pizza. Thank you. Oh, Morris. It looks like Morris is getting drunk. He's having a Mott's Clamato extra spicy Caesar. I had pizza some minutes ago and now bread is in the oven. Abbey Road. That's a good choice, Morris. Oh, like, yeah. Any album by the Beatles. Like, if your favorite album of all time is any Beatles album, I can't, disagree with you. The Beatles are the best. Rubber Soul. Although I do prefer the American version of Rubber Soul, starting with I've Just Seen a Face. Yeah, Beatles for Sale. I love the mono of that. I just had a new appreciation for it listening to it in mono. The White Album is an encyclopedia of pop music. By the way, Isaac Brown didn't know who Sexy Sadie was. Yeah, I can kind of understand that though, right? I don't know how old he is, but some people, don't grow up being Beatles fans like me. I remember the Beatles right from the get-go when I was like 6 years old, seeing them on the Ed Sullivan Show. And there's no, when a new album comes out from an artist, whatever, Sparks or whatever, I'm excited. But nothing ever compared to the excitement of a new Beatles album. Yeah, my favorite Beatles album is Let It Be. Yep. Agreed on the US Rubber Soul. I've mentioned before I prefer the Capitol versions overall. Yeah. I'll drink to that, Nicholas. I prefer the anthology version of I'm Looking Through You. Yeah, that's a good one. Now, this person might be trying to stump me, thinking I don't know what he means, but he is a Supertramp fan, and Crisis What Crisis is the follow-up to Crime of the Century, one of the greatest albums ever. And Crisis What Crisis is pretty good too. I think Isaac discovered the Beatles last year, so he cannot know all the facts. Yeah, I do not blame him. Yeah, younger people, the younger people grow up with the music of today, all the crappy music today, or most of it. Luke's Film Unbox. Happy birthday, Larry. Still bringing high quality entertainment. Thank you very much. I bought a new album today that I needed. I will make a video after I watch Monty's Sparks special. Yeah, cool. It's going to be cool to see all four former members of Sparks. They were the band that was with Sparks when they were on Saturday Night Live in 1982, and that's the year I first saw them at the El Macombo in Toronto. I actually mentioned when I met Ron and Russell backstage, I mentioned that I had seen them at the El Macombo in 1982, and Russell wasn't completely sure if they played there or not until I let him know that they did. You can't go wrong with past masters. What do you think of Watching Rainbows by the Beatles and should have been on Anthology 3? I probably have heard that, but I'm not really big on bootlegs overall, so I don't really remember it. Love the live in Paris of Supertramp. Great concert. Yeah, they were a great band for sure. Is there even a top 40 chart in 2026? Unfortunately, I'm very nostalgic for laughing my effing ass off. Yeah, their one video is pretty funny. It's Pow. Thank you, Pow. Elite Supertramp Knowledge, Larry. Crisis is my favorite from them. Yeah, I also remember in the 70s going into a stereo shop, with the turntables and all that. And if they wanted to show off, the stereo system, a lot of the times it would be the Supertramp album "Crime of the Century" because it's just the sound quality of that album was so amazing, along with Fleetwood Mac's "Rumors." So yeah, yeah, they are the band from Womp and Angst and Sparks in Outer Space. Morris, yep, all four members. Mark Morris, happy birthday! Thank you, Mark. I like your new glasses. Thank you. Where do you buy them? I got mine from Hackham. I've actually got two pairs. I got these at Walmart. Molly helped pick them out. So these are for, close up at the computer or when I'm, filming and my camera's in front of me. And these are for when I'm for distance. And these go dark when I'm outside. Yeah. So Molly helped pick these out. I'm actually cross-eyed. That's why I need these glasses. Hello, Robert Cormier. I love Supertramp and Crisis, Crime, and even in the quietest moments all are great ones. Yep. Fine Music 8797. Happy birthday, Larry. Thank you. Do you know Put Another Candle on Your Birthday Cake from Sheriff John back in the 1960s? I sure do. It goes like this. Put another candle on your birthday cake, or something like that. I like sharing this memory of mine. In 1973, saw Santana in Moncton, same group that you see in the Woodstock movie. Wow. Ticket price was $5.50. That's amazing. Okay, who drank my wine? Here's a question. What is the best concert you've ever seen? Let me know. My favorite concerts, I have two. Well, I have more than two actually, but Paul McCartney I saw him in 2010 in Toronto, and I got to meet the band backstage. And of course, Sparks, any of the Sparks concerts. Yeah, really excited for the Ween Brown box. I own about half of their albums individually. Yeah. That would have been cool to see. Great price. Hi, Morris. What do you get for $5.50 these days? have white wine, by the way. Yeah. I, between white wine and red wine, I prefer red, but I like white wine too. I like wine basically. And I also like to wine. Did you ever meet any of the Beatles? I wish. Nope, never met in. When I did meet, like I said, Paul McCartney's band backstage before the concert, but Paul McCartney was with, he had a separate dressing room, and he was with, I believe, Michael Bublé. Yeah. My favorite concert was An Evening with Blue Rodeo back in 1998 at Massey Hall. Yeah, Blue Rodeo was a very popular Canadian band. If you like kind of country, pop, rock, they're excellent. Check them out. Best concert I've been to was Brian Wilson. No shock to anyone. He was in good spirits that night. Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Larry, the other day I had cervical facet injections done on my neck, 3 sets of needles on the left and right side of my neck. Cool. I hope that helped you out. I have tried things like that, but nothing has helped me for my chronic pain. Yeah, the medication I'm starting tomorrow is called, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly, gabapentin. Gabapentin. More trivia for your birthday. Do you know what sparks? Yep, singing in the shower. I am a Sparks expert, fine music. Not really, but yeah, that's a fun song. Hey, Larry, happy birthday. I just first finally listened to the full White Album yesterday, and it is mind blowing how it sounds like 4 solo Beatles albums in one album. Yeah. But they do play together sometimes, like on Your Blues and some of the other tracks. So Ringer Luca 651. My best concert was Roger Hodgson of Supertramp at the London Palladium. I was honored to be invited to the sound check, and Roger taught me some of his songs I didn't know how to play yet on stage. Aged 7. Wow, that's nice. That's cool. Have you listened to anything by James McCartney? Just, yeah, a little bit online, and it sounds good. Not really my type of music, though, a little too poppy for me, but, he is talented. Yes, Morris, it was an awesome concert, and the memories are still vivid, and the ticket prices were like that in the 70s. Yeah. Yeah. And if I do talk to Joe Bouchard of Bluester Cult, I would like to also talk to him about, touring in the 70s, because I think bands in the 70s, they toured a lot. Like I'll look at some of their schedules and it's like every night, like day after day after day after day. It was insane. I was happy they had singing in the shower on Sparks past tense. Yeah. I've given gabapentin to my parrots a couple times for pain relief. I've heard that about pets. It's weird when vets use the same medication prescribed for human. Hope it's helpful. Yeah, thank you. I think I might have had it in the past, but I really didn't give it much of a chance. So, it's going to take a while for it to hopefully work. And, you start on a low dosage. I'm going to get a little bit more wine because it's my birthday and it's going to be my last time being able to drink wine because of the medication I'm taking tomorrow. So I should have more wine. Don't you agree? Another birthday question. I'll answer it when I come back in 1 minute. I'm just going to get more wine. Just talk amongst yourselves. That didn't take long. Okay. Do you agree with me that Sparks Stick Around is the Bohemian Rhapsody of the 21st century? It's phenomenal. I don't know. Well, I like it more than Bohemian Rhapsody. So, yeah, it's, I love any Sparks song. So, except for, well, there are a couple I'm not crazy about, like Fingertips. Larry, you were talking about seeing Paul in Toronto in 2010. I saw him in Hershey, PA in 2016. He was fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, when he played live, I think it's even today. He played for like 3 hours straight. He didn't take a break. He never even had a drink of water. He was amazing. You could see how much Geddy Lee of Rush was so burned out from touring in those old 70s interviews. Yeah. Yeah. I hope your wine isn't out of a box. It is actually out of a box. It tastes good to me. Cheers to my birthday. I can't believe I'm 88 years old. Come on, guys, ask more questions. I got Mott's in a can. I've never had that. And I'm not, alcohol. I only have, believe it or not, like maybe that much with my dinner every night, except for when I do a live chat, I have a bit more. But other than that, I've never been a fan of like beer. I did used to like rum and Coke or rum and orange juice, but that was a few years back. Okay. I'm still older than you. About concert tickets in the 70s, a bit before my time, but my friend saw George Harrison on the Dark Horse Tour in 1974. Yeah, it was $10. That was considered outrageously expensive at the time. Yeah. I'm 66. Just curious, do you have a favorite 10cc song? Do you like 10cc? I love 10cc. My favorite, my favorite album is How Dare You. So almost any song from that album I really love. But they were just great producers, great albums. I saw Led Zeppelin at Madison Square Garden in 1974. They opened with rock and roll, thunderously loud. I bet. That is cool. I like Sitters. I just have the one can. I was going to get more, but I don't really feel like drinking. Yeah, neither do I, Morris. I'm actually going to look like this in a few minutes. Good thing you don't like beer. Gluten-free beer is terrible. I've heard that. Yeah. Where's Molly? She's a few hours away from me, but I'm going to be seeing her sometime in the next few days. So maybe we'll be doing some videos together. Okay. There's a George Harrison compilation that was released after Cloud9 that you can't stream. It's got a few songs you can't get anywhere else. You might be able to find a cheap eBay copy. Cool. Larry, did you actually get 3 million subscribers on your Larry Graves TV channel, as you said back in 2016? No. No, I think no, I think I was saying there was a video that I did on Daily Motion that had over 3 million views. It was called XXX video. It was a comedy video. Yeah. Larry, do you have a top 5 Beatles song list? Mine would be A Day in the Life, the Abbey Road medley, Happiness is a Warm Gun, I Want You, She's So Heavy, Within You, Without You. All of those are great. Okay. A Day in the Life, I think, is the greatest song of all time, but so is Strawberry Fields Forever, Tomorrow Never Knows, I Want You, She's So Heavy, and any Paul or George song, because, I love John and I love John. No, I love Paul and George's songs too. It was only $45 per ticket for a Tool tribute band. Cool. On April 2nd. Yeah. Do you have an interest in getting George Harrison's Early Takes Volume 1? I actually had that. I had a box set of, the movie Living in the Material World. It was a Blu-ray, and it came with that. I think it came with that CD. But I wasn't a big George Harrison fan like I am now. So I do regret selling that box set. But yeah, I'd like to get that again. I had Moths in the Closet. That would be a good name for a band, Moths in the Closet. No, I want more questions. Not the last question. Do you like the music of Stan Ridgway, Wall of Voodoo? I'm not that familiar with the band except for maybe one song. But one of the guitarists that was in the band at one point helped me with a comedy song that I did back in the day. Yeah, one of their most popular songs I really love. But other than that, I don't know them very well. All I want to ask about Zappa Beefheart's Bongo Fury for now is, where are the bongos? Yeah. That is one of my favorite albums of all time. I hope you enjoy it. I know, don't tell me we're doing a CD exchange, Morris with Roberts on my turntable. And I gave Morris Bongo Fury and also Ween's White Pepper. So we'll be doing the review in about a week. I'm looking forward to Morris's thoughts on Bongo Fury. And yeah, I've ordered the box set. My favorite Beatles song is Norwegian Wood. That's awesome. Helter Skelter. Yeah, that might be in my top 5 also. Helter Skelter. Yep. Larry, Are those record sleeves behind you on the wall, or are they all posters? Holy, I didn't even know I had those on my wall. I got to stop drinking. No, those are all real vinyl records. Most of those I got at, they were in a dollar bin. The albums were either warped or kind of scratched or whatever. And I would do, I bet you don't own any of these albums. And then after, I just put them on my wall here. Yeah. But Captain Beefheart does, in one of his crazy songs, he does say Bongo Fury. So that's where they got the title from. What was your first impression on the Beatles' new look for Sgt. Pepper? Happy birthday, Larry. Thank you. It was kind of, I guess, surprising, because back in 1967, I guess you might see a picture or two in a newspaper, but it was when Sgt. Pepper came out, right? I just remember that. And it was just cool. The Beatles looked cool. The Beatles were always cool looking, right? So I was impressed by them. And I wanted to grow a mustache, but I was only 9 years old. I still can't grow a mustache. Yeah, George, I just have a new appreciation for him. Yeah. I love his Beatles songs, but his solo career, I just didn't appreciate it like I do today. I remember liking Stan Ridgway's song Camouflage. Yeah, Mexican Radio was the one I love. Yeah. Larry, what is your opinion on Free as a Bird? I think personally that it is the Beatles' most underrated song, and all four Beatles shine in the song in their own special way. Yep, I love it. It's a great song. Larry, I love your sense of humor. And isn't it nice how many folks like you? Thank you. I'm going to cry. No, it is nice. Yeah, thank you very much. I try not, I just try and be real, right? Now, believe it or not, there are people on the internet that probably don't like me. Everybody, nobody's going to like everybody, right? But I'm just myself. I'm just my silly self. Yeah, Morris. The Rick Wakeman inner sleeve is the best. It's right here. Yeah. Now, some of these are humorous, right? But I do love a lot of these artists. James Tate. I really like Kenny Rogers. That's, to me, that's not a joke. I do like his music. Eric Burden, the sensational Alex Harvey Band, Bob and Doug McKenzie. Oh, and if you are Second City TV, the show, it's coming to, is it Prime Video? I think it's Prime Video that it's coming to on March 3rd, at least here in Canada. And then Burden Cummings, the Monkees, the Beach Boys. I loved All in the Family, the band Deaf School, some band named Sparks. They're okay. I love, that's Barry Gibb's solo album. I love the Bee Gees. Phil Collins is okay. The Doobie Brothers. And Mrs. Miller's Greatest Hits. Roger Miller, I really like. I like early Rod Stewart. Yep. Your comedy timing is excellent. Thank you. Canada has produced so many great comedians. Have another glass of red. Okay. This is actually Coca-Cola. I don't drink. Moths was in relation to what Morris said. I knew that. Larry, did you ever get jump scared by the inner groove after the end of A Day in a Life at the time? Well, I did get scared, but by the Beatles, seriously, but not that track, because at least in Canada, we never had that inner track. I think that was just for the UK pressings. So I never heard that for many years. But I've told this story before. I think it was the first time I listened to Abbey Road, and it was, the last song, The End. So the end ended, and I'm watching the turntable, and my dad had this big stereo system with a reel to reel and turntable and everything. And so I'm watching the record spin, and it's not, coming up, but it was the end of the album, I thought, right? So I turned up the volume to see if I could hear anything. And then after about 20 seconds, Her Majesty came on, and I jumped. It scared me. So that's my story about the Beatles scaring me. Joel from Bethlehem. Happy birthday, Larry. I thought this live stream was at 3 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I changed the time to 2 p.m. Have a great day. My lunch break is over. Got to get back to work. Take care. Thank you, pal. I love how John Lennon, when performing live, introduced Nowhere Man in E. There are 2 Monkees covers on there. I'll be listening to all I have from them in the next couple of days. You mean on here there's two? There are. I'm going to have to take one of them off. Favorite Bob Dylan song? Mine is One of Us Must Know. I think my favorite is almost any song from Slow Train Coming, When He Returns. The third song on Slow Train Coming, I forget the name of it at the moment, but I just love Bob's vocals on that song. And then, of course, Mark Knopfler's guitar playing. Free the Monkees from rock and roll jail. Free the Monkees, yes, and get them into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Don't get me started. Thank you, Michael. I have to hit the road. Enjoy your birthday. Thank you. Larry, I love your channel, and you have the best catchphrase. I try to catch all your videos. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate anyone that watches my videos, and especially if you leave a comment, because that really helps my channel. And, liking, like I always say, any YouTube channel that you follow and you like, if you can, please remember to like their videos or my videos and leave a comment, even if it's good video, right? It does help the channels. I recently ordered the Monkees 5-disc first 5 albums in one little box, the size of one single disc, original style, jewel case. Yep, I've got that. Yeah, it's very good. Oh, Robert's got to go. Thank you, Robert. Have a great day. Larry, what is your least favorite Beatles song, even though you don't have one? My 2 least favorites would probably be It's Only Love or Blue Jay Way. I really don't have a least favorite, but I will say back when I was younger, there were some Beatles songs I didn't care for. I'll Get You, Baby, You're a Rich Man, I used to dislike, and a few others, but now, I don't know. I love every Beatles song. Jerry, happy birthday, Larry. Thank you very much. Classical Music 1175. Happy birthday, Larry. Hope you have a good day. Thanks for the great content over the years. Thank you. 20 years of semi-great content on YouTube. Yeah, I hit like on everyone's channel. Yeah. It's more cool now not to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Mariah Carey. You know what? And I think she's being nominated for the third time, and I believe you can only be nominated 3 times. So I bet you she will get into the hall this year. And I have nothing against her. You know, she is talented, not my kind of music, but she's not rock and roll, right? Sorry I'm late, Larry. Happy birthday. No problem. Yeah, I originally had it set for 3 p.m. And then a couple of hours ago, I changed it to 2 p.m. because there's going to be a Sparks live chat at 4 p.m. I'm going to promote it one more time. If you're a fan of Sparks, on Monty's Sparks and Entertainment channel, he's interviewing former band members of Sparks. And I might take part in the live chat at some point. And this is the link for it. So I hope some of you that are Sparks fans, check it out. Larry, when do you think the new Sparks movie will be out? I need to ask Ron and Russell about that. I think they're still working on it. I don't think it would be this year, maybe next year. And I think they might be recording a new album. Oh, and I need to get my very first Gorillaz album. I guess it was just released, and Sparks did one song with Gorillaz, which I really like a lot. So I need to order that. Molly ought to sing Baby You're a Rich Man to your face. Yeah. Yeah. It's Marvin, the #1 Iron Maiden fan in the world. Hi, Larry. Happy birthday. Thank you, Marvin. Larry, what is your favorite Rush song and album? My favorite is 2112. Since you're from Canada, they are, in my opinion, the Canadian Beatles, even though you can't compare another band to the Beatles. I think Rush are one of the most talented bands ever. Now, for a Canadian, the Canadian Beatles, I would say for me, not that Rush aren't great. For me, it would be either Klaatu or the Canadian band, the Northern Pikes. But Rush are amazing. My favorite Rush song is probably Working Man from their first album. And my favorite album, we're doing a CD exchange, and I just recently listened to their Clockwork Angels album for the exchange, and I was so impressed with that. So that might be my favorite. Love Gorillaz, yeah. What I've heard by them when I was doing the Patreon song reactions, I really did like. So yeah, I need to get that album. Do you like Canadian singer Lorena McKenna? I've heard of her, but I've never heard her music. Oh, that's a good question, Marvin. Larry, what's your favorite song on Bongo Fury? Let me look up the track list here. I would probably Deborah Cadabra, the opening track, but I love all of them. And then Carolina Hardcore Ecstasy, of course, Muffin Man. And I also have a new appreciation for advance romance because of all the great guitar work in that song. Yeah, Klaatu. I love Klaatu. I'm so looking forward to Monty's Spark special. I guess I'm still in their group chat. I seen them prepare for the last 2 weeks. Yeah, I think he might be a little nervous, right? Because it is pretty special to be talking to the Sparks band from the 80s. I might be a little nervous too. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And David Kendrick, who was the Sparks drummer that's going to be part of the live chat, he was also later on the drummer for Devo. I bet you didn't know that. Look, another picture of me. Look how sweet and innocent I look back then. Yeah, I've got some of these old pictures I need to scan. Here's one when I was working. This was my dog, Elmo. He was the sweetest dog. Oh, I can't show you that picture. I got one more picture. Morris will like this one. If it would focus. There we go. What a geeky looking guy I was. Don't laugh. Did you see Mike Love and Earl Mankey appear together to talk about the new box? No, I haven't seen that yet. Did you know, Nicholas, did you know that Earl Mankey was in the band called Sparks on their first 2 albums? I bet you didn't know that. Clockwork Angels is fantastic and was a great way for Rush to go out on their studio career. And Geddy Lee would agree with us both, Larry, even though I personally prefer, 2112 is great too. Yeah. Damon Albarn is far more famous in North America as part of Gorillaz. Yeah. Yeah, Monty will be great. It's going to be fun. Have you heard there's I have. I really love Peter Gabriel in his, when he was with Genesis, and I love his first few solo albums. But I don't know, just for me, I don't know. I just kind of lost interest in his solo career, but he's a great talent, of course. That school pic is Portrait of the Artist as a Young Muffin. Good looking dog. Kimono. Yep. Don't lie. Next, you'll be saying one of the Ruddles was I don't know what that is. NEAC. What is that, Nicholas? Oh, no, I'm almost out of wine. Can somebody send me some wine? Thank you. Finger slipped. Was a Beach Boy. Okay. Don't lie. Next, you'll be saying one of the Ruddles was a Beach Boy. Nicholas, stop drinking. Have you heard of the band Big Big Train? Yeah, I think Scott from the Prog Corners talked about them. I just never checked out their music, but I'm sure, I'm sure I would like it. My favorite Rush album is my favorite Rush album is Hemispheres. I just love La Villa Straghetto. Did I say that properly? Here is more. Congrats, Larry, on 60 years on YouTube. I can't believe I've been on YouTube for 68 years. It's, sometimes it was a struggle, but I kept going through. The Garden is a great final song for Rush. I agree. It's very emotional. And I mentioned earlier, but I've got more people on now. If you haven't seen the Paul McCartney documentary, Man on the Run, it's on Prime Video if you have Prime, and it is excellent. I really enjoyed it. Which Genesis album you love more? Nursery Crime or Foxtrot? Marvin, my favorite all-time Genesis album is Foxtrot. Let me get my wine. Is there a special particular movie you'll be watching tonight for your birthday? Actually, no, I would say I've got maybe 80 movies, Blu-rays, and I really never watch them, but I do have favorites. I'm a big fan of Christopher Guest, the comedian. So any of his, Waiting for Guffman, which is on Netflix now, The Best in Show. I love, and almost any Martin Short movie. And then of Mice and Men is one of my favorites. The 80s movie. Sling Blade is another favorite. Am I slurring my words? Let me know in the comment section below. Larry, you need a small easel or stand to put your CDs on when you display them for your YouTube camera while filming or live streaming, so you don't shake or move the CD case too much. Joel, I know you're the only one that complains, and I respect you complaining, but when I show a CD, I do this, and I hold it like this for, a few seconds, and that's it. That's good enough for me, Joel. If, maybe pause the video so you can look at the album cover. But that's a lot of work to set up a small easel to display my CDs. The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Yeah, that's a great album. I like it more. Well, I've always really liked it, but I really have a new respect for it. Do you have a favorite Keith the Goat Moon drum? Part 1 would say anything from, Live at Leeds for sure. And I also love his song Bellboy on Quadrophenia. Yeah. A Mighty Wind. I love that. Now, there was another movie afterwards, For Your Consideration. I might need to watch that again because the one time I watched it, I didn't find it that funny. So if anybody has seen that, let me know. I really love Genesis live album. Yeah, that is one of my all-time favorite live albums, Marvin. My favorites are Grand Funk live album, Genesis live. That's about all I can think of at the moment. The naming nut scene in Best in Show is one of the best things put on film. Yeah. Cheers. Thank you. Yeah, Larry, you're slurring your words. LOL. I've never seen the movie Quadrophenia. Shame on me. Now I really feel like playing my second disc of my Sparks Brothers Blu-ray. I need to watch that live in London again. Yeah. I also like all of the bonus material that's on it when they met Todd Rundgren for the first time in many, many years. Yeah, I love John Candy too. I've got Trains, Planes, and Automobiles is my favorite. Later tonight, yeah. 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 I think it's on Netflix now, but like it, and there's one other one that another Christopher Guest movie that I've never really seen. Marvin, Genesis Live at the Rainbow is better because it includes Supper's Ready. Yeah. Have a great birthday, Larry. Been watching for over a decade now. Wow. Thank you very much. Sending love from the UK. I can't remember if you've ever mentioned 13th Floor Elevators before. Try the album Easter Everywhere. Cool. I have heard of 13th Floor Elevators. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks to Edgar Wright, that movie, that documentary, The Sparks Brothers. Sparks' career went up. Yeah. Larry, two other great live albums is Band of Gypsies, Jimi Hendrix. I have that, and it is awesome. And if you want Blood, You Got It, AC/DC. Both are fantastic and sound so ahead of their time, even though one was 1970 and 1978. Christopher Guest is in A Few Good Men. Cool. I don't think I've ever seen that movie. Wow. It's so, I never really think about people that have been watching me for years. And then I will, occasionally get a comment like that. I've been watching you since 1987. And yeah, just thank you for watching and hopefully commenting too. My fans are the best. And I'm not joking. Yeah. One of my favorite live albums is Deep Purple, made in Japan, 1973, and the 1998 2 CD issue. Yeah, I would like to actually get that on CD. Won't be able to get to How the West Was Won on Monday at the earliest. I have so much to get to, but I'm loving all of it. Yeah, Morris just got the 3 CD How the West Was Won, Led Zeppelin live, and that's one of my all-time favorite live albums. It is awesome. What is your all-time favorite live album? Let me know in the comment section below. Morris, if you don't have, I would say, Machine Head, you need to get that. That's a good starter for Deep Purple. But I listened to one of their more recent albums, Now What, for the CD exchange, and I was really impressed with it. It was really good. The Who Sell Out is a great album, Larry. Have you listened to it? Yep, I've got the deluxe version of it. It's awesome. I've been watching Larry since 2009. when the Beatles remasters came out. Yeah. I think that might have been my very first video that was, music related, because when I started on YouTube, I was just making, silly videos. Uma Guma or Beach Boys in Concert 73. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your birthday and don't watch the news. It's bleak. Yeah. I woke up, like I said earlier, and I checked my phone and I've got CNN, right? And it's like, oh, they're starting World War III on my birthday. Thank you. Genesis, Seconds Out, yeah, or Rush, Show of Hands. Okay, I've really enjoyed this live chat. Thank you, everybody. But I want to watch the chat with the Sparks Band on Monty's Sparks and Entertainment, which is at 4 p.m. I'll send you the link one more time if you're a Sparks fan. And I got to make my pizza for dinner. So I'll say goodbye now. I thank everybody for the nice comments and the birthday greetings. Exit stage left and Frampton comes alive. Yeah. Yeah, I love the Doors. I have all of their albums. Yeah. Happy birthday. Sorry. Happy birthday, Larry. Stay safe. Thank you, Merlin's cat. Fun live chat. Bye, guys. Happy 68, Larry. Thank you. Enjoy your birthday, Larry. Happy 68. Thank you. Again, happy birthday. Bye-bye for now. Joel, thank you. Good night. 6-8. Thank you, David. Bye, Larry. Enjoy your birthday. Thank you, Marvin. Morris, always a pleasure, and see you next week at our CD exchange. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Great balancing act. Happy birthday, Larry. I just arrived home. Thank you. Larry, one more year until 69. No comment. Have a wonderful birthday. Thank you, Morris. So thanks, everybody. And I hope you check out the Sparks chat. That's going to be on Monty's Sparks and Entertainment at 4 p.m. And I will be part of that live chat later on. I'll send you the link one more time because I love promoting other channels. It's Bob. Happy birthday, you old fart. Thank you, Bob. Hello and bye, Jeep. Thanks, everybody. Bye.